Okay, today's exciting. Today we are exploring one of the senses of your deeper self, which is your ability to sense the path to your desires. Now, of course, you likely have more than one desire, so it begs to question, is there more than one path? Will the path to one desire eliminate the path to another? As someone who is multi-passionate, this is actually where I can get mentally tripped up sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. Which is funny because you may be thinking, isn't the whole concept of a cosmic you an alien inside your head? The part that trips you up? No, girl. After many years of meditating on my deeper self, nope. That part no longer trips me up. And I want to help that part not trip you up as well, so stay with me. Finding out you have essentially an alien that is actually you, but not like the ego mind version of you, all inside your head is indeed trippy. But once you learn to identify your deeper self, which is a very distinct beingness, by the way, it's unmistakable once you learn how to access it and differentiate it from your usual mental chatter. Once you're able to identify your deeper self, what is left is the ego's battle to surrender what it believes is the path and instead take a full giant leap into the path that is lighting up. The path that your deeper self is like, go here, go here, go. Look over here. This is it. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. What fun. Because the path that lights up actually has multiple desires attached. It's kind of like when you plan a trip somewhere and you had no idea you'd come across a really cool historic site or an awesome leather goods store or an amazing hiking spot. You know, whatever it is that you are specifically into, you love that thing and you had no idea it would be on this trip. You had no idea that pursuing this bigger thing would also feed that smaller passion. And it just makes the trip so much sweeter. Sometimes that unexpected treat is the very thing that made that trip special and memorable. Isn't that funny? Isn't that weird? Because sure, you love traveling, you're excited to go on the trip, but oh my gosh, do you love a good mom and pop ice cream shop? Okay, this is totally a me love, but oh my goodness. Do you love to find that hidden gem in the middle of the countryside, totally just casually out there, selling the best ice cream in the world? You're sure of it. Is this amazing mom and pop shop? And you love ice cream and you love hidden gems. And it's just like, now this trip is known for that ice cream shop. Amazing. It's stuff that you cannot sit down and predict and plan. The path to your desires that your deeper self lights up for you is always like this. There are many delights along the way. And so it requires a level of mental surrender because it's just not possible for you to plan out every little thing. It would take up so much time of your life, even if you're using AI. You're asking ChatGPT, hey, blah, blah, blah. Like, it still wouldn't deliver the way your deeper self and the universe delivers. You don't have to worry about filling in every little detail like an overplanned road trip. You just have to trust in the feeling of the path and trust that there will be many surprises along the way. So let's explore sensing the path. All month long, we've been bringing our conscious awareness to our senses. Each time, I've guided you to take part in what's gathered in front of you. And then you may have noticed that I invited you to focus in on what was pleasurable and savor that pleasure. And as you savored, you may have noticed something peculiar beginning to happen. The more you focused on what gave you pleasure, the more pleasure increased. As you focused on what felt good, you may have been led to more pleasurable experiences. For example, maybe that delicious bite of berries tasted so good that you felt inspired to go for a walk to enjoy the weather. And then that felt so good that you felt inspired to draw a warm bath in the afternoon. Pleasure begets pleasure. Now, this is very logical and it makes sense. Your mind is not going to struggle with that line of thinking too much. Once you get in a good mood, you typically ride that good mood and do more of what you like. Logical? Makes sense. So what about those desires that you can't necessarily orchestrate from a good mood? You can't take action on your part to align all of the pieces. You know, those true chance meetings and sparks of genius that happen when you're in the middle of the shower or out on a walk. Could your good feeling path lead to perfectly timed, out of the blue manifestations like that too? Yes. Yes. This is the sweet secret of the universe. When you feel good, when you're in rapturous pleasure and you're vibrating at the frequency of love, you are in alignment with your desires. Now, you may not believe this right away, and I don't recommend trying to force yourself to believe it. Instead, experiment. If you recall from the beginning of this challenge, I invited you to approach this as a great sensory experiment. This is no different. You are going to sense the path, not wish it into being. You're actually going to sense it. And so, moving forward, observe what you attract when you're feeling good and enjoying the small pleasures of your day, just as you've learned to do throughout this challenge. And alternatively, notice what you attract when you're feeling shut down and down on your luck. The path to all your fabulous desires is a pleasure-rich path. And I'm really talking about your divinely guided path and not the path of overworking and needing to micromanage every detail, right? Those are, just let you know, talking about two different paths. You can think of this as a universe's path for you, but you know, it's always changing. It's not, woven by mystical beings who weave this loom of thread and you gotta stay on it. It's not rigid, right? It's expansive, it's variable, but you can sense when you're on it and when you're off it. So the path to your desires is a pleasure-rich path, and you can tap back into it simply by attuning to what feels good in any moment. Practically, this means mastering the art of doing without grueling. Yes, you can push and force your way and maybe get what you want, but in the process, you also lose a lot of what you do want, like your health, quality time with family and friends, and your mental well-being. So if you're looking for the practical takeaway, it's this: give up the gruel. Enjoy the doing. Use all the sensual tools we've learned in this course to start to enjoy your life. Stop waiting for every piece to come together before you let yourself feel good, because it's actually that very upside down logic that is keeping you stuck. Giving up the gruel and the unending reasons to worry and instead surrendering to the pleasure of the present moment can feel absolutely terrifying. I get it. When we have a belief that all we have is us and we're working alone in this world and we have to push and force to get everything done, and then giving up the gruel sounds like giving up on life. Now, if you actually take a step back, logic will tell you, obviously, that's just a story you're telling yourself. Rugged individualism is not a thing. I don't care whatever podcast bro says. Rugged individualism is not a thing. I mean, think about it. Do you make your own fabric from cotton? Literally the plant. I'm not talking about store-bought fabrics. I mean, do you go out there and you collect the materials, you refine it and sew it together to clothe yourself? Do you pave the road of every highway and street you drive on? Do you milk every cow you drink from? Of course not. Of course not. There is a brilliant web of interconnectivity that supports us all. But I want to go a step further because your mind can wrap yourself around that. Go a step further and know that not only do we have access to a human network, but a spiritual network as well. One that your deeper self is plugged into and co-creating with, so that it can deliver the right impulse, the right gut instinct to you in perfect timing every time. The question is, do you trust that feeling? By now, as a result of this challenge, your sensitivity to what you feel should be heightened. You may be beginning to feel when something feels right. In addition, the healing and expansion practices we've done with the heart chakra has opened up your capacity for joy, and something is beginning to stir inside. Perhaps you're beginning to sense that at your core, you really are loved. And you are loved. You're loved and you're loved. The universe delights in you and wants to gift to you. Non-physical forces swirl around you, propelling you forward like the true child of the universe that you are. So today, I invite you to begin your great experiment with your deeper self. Before each task or before you make a choice, feel for the part of you whose essence is love. And as you weigh your next steps, whether it's to turn right or left, or wear a blue shirt or a red shirt, or lean in one direction or another for a work project, get quiet and listen to your heart. Which path lights up? Whichever it is, take that path. Surrendering to the universe isn't about surrendering to the invisible and undetectable. It's about getting to know your deeper self so well that you trust the guidance that you feel from within. You know the next step on your path. You've done the experiment, you've seen the results, you know that you can trust what you feel. You know the next step on your path. Okay, so I've been a little bit spicy today, I know. I really want you to get this. If you'd like to dive deeper and understand how your deeper self communicates with you and continues to guide you on the path to your desires, and you'd like to continue this conversation, go ahead and watch my free masterclass, One Step Manifesting, Co-Creating with the Deeper Self. I'm going to leave a little trailer of the free masterclass at the end in just a moment. You can access it at uniquebell.com/free masterclass. What I really want you to take away from today is that the path isn't a mystery. You can sense it in your bones. The next right step on the path will feel light, clear, and it will call to you. You just can't help but go. I'm Unique Bell. I hope you'll join me in the free masterclass. The link is going to be below. You can sign up at uniquebell.com/free masterclass. And also, here's a little peek into what's inside. The deeper self is the eternal, ever-present awareness that breeds us all. This is the eternal aspect of you. The being doing the being, the observer doing the observing. I don't want to scare you or anything, but you've got a ghost inside you. Okay, not a ghost, fine. I don't like scary stories like that, you know what I mean? But there is a different aspect of you beyond the mind. Or rather, I should say that the mind branches off from this eternal aspect of you, the isness that you are. So underneath all those thoughts about, I don't even know what you're thinking about, whatever you think about, underneath all of that, there is the deeper self. And your mind, it's branched off from the deeper self, but it only vaguely remembers that it's branched off. It's like you're living in a dream and you're faintly aware that you're in a dream. And as you become aware that you are aware, you wake up. All right, watch the free masterclass again. You can access it at uniquebelle.com/free masterclass. And I will see you tomorrow for day 26 of the Sensual Reset Challenge.